I don't know what it would look like. It would be highly attractive to people in the
My name is Kim Bopney and I am a Port Moody resident. I love our community. I love the expansion that has happened. However, I think we've reached almost critical mass. So of all the options that were presented today, the low density option, if I had to choose one, would be the one that I would go with.
Hi. I would like this area to be a treehouse for all the kids to play in. They can come here whenever they want.
So I'm Kaylee and this is Brian. Oh, I got that wrong. Okay, this is Kaylee and I'm Brian. And we hope that this becomes a great community space for local markets and community engagement.
I wish that this space was dedicated for an adult fun park, and that could include like an outdoor skating rink or things for like Tough Mudder and all those kinds of venues, and that would generate some income and have some fun in our city.
Good morning, Port Moody. I'm standing in front of the new library facility. It's going to be behind me with easy road and bicycle access from the existing town hall.
Diana Brown from Port Moody. I would like to see on these lands I don't mind medium density high-rise building. I don't mind seeing 29 stories. I want to see it stepped back from the front street if there are any. I'd like to see the library here, Kyle Center being moved over as a senior center. In one of these buildings, maybe a 6th story, I would like to see a seniors residence. So I think that's what I'd like to see. Lots of green space, and I want it to be accessible to the public and easily accessible.
We support high density development here as long as it's thoughtfully implemented with a comprehensive transportation plan and very strict criteria around public amenity spaces, green spaces, and playgrounds.
Alright, I wish this plot of land was kept as park space, namely so that it ties in with the Rocky Point Park down the street. I understand that the town has to go redevelop certain areas, certain community plans. However, I would be willing to go pay more in property taxes, as well as having development levies to go pay for that kind of thing.
We'd like to see best land use for this site, for the preservation of Port Moody moving forward. And by that we mean density. There's no other way. It can't be park space. We've got enough of that already.
My name is Maren Ashdown. I live and work in the Inlet Centre. I live about 1 kilometer away. And I actually favor the high density option because I think that that gives the most opportunities to expand the public space and to build in amenities that will increase community connection, like plaza areas for people to connect, pedestrian pathways to move people around on foot. I think that that's the option that leverages the land the best. I'm afraid of the low and medium density options because I think that that would take up more of the land with buildings and people without adding those community amenities that are required to keep our community connected. If we build using those options, then I would be very concerned about keeping people in their houses and not giving them space to get out and connect and meet other people and be a true community where there's interactions. And that's my comments. Thank you.
So I think that this space has to be a city square. It has to be an icon for the City of the Arts and have a significant public space feature that is either a fountain or a really outrageous piece of art like the Bean in Chicago.
Hi, my name is Alan. I would like to just state my point of view that I would like the area, the fire hall, and to remain at least on a low-rise basis, not a high-rise basis. We need to keep all high-rise development outside the perimeter road. I understand this has to be developed, and I understand the council needs the amenities for future generations, but this is not an appropriate place for towers, especially not a 29-story tower. I would like to see a non-high density for this area. Thank you.
I have a couple of suggestions for this property. One is maybe an independent, supportive, assisted living place for seniors or whoever will need it. So that if I ever need it, I don't have to move away from Port Moody. I've lived here for over 30 years. And the second comment is it would be nice to link Cedarbrook, Kahani, and Newport in a pedestrian-friendly way. And for disabilities and for anyone just walking. So be safe. You don't have to worry about traffic. Thank you.
So number one, I appreciate density, and I think that this density really makes Port Moody a community, but the risk is that we end up with individual developments versus a community. So right now we have Newport is separated from Suterbrook by a 4-lane highway and a 6-lane highway. From a pedestrian standpoint, really not pleasant. I'm frequently harassed and threatened by vehicles as I'm trying to cross the street. Not great. How are you going to address an alternate method of getting people from one development to another where they don't have to engage with cars? By making a high-density neighborhood is great. We're providing an alternate for Vancouver residents who can no longer afford to live in Vancouver. Those people like pedestrian access and they want green space, and those are things missing from Vancouver is the green space. I think we have to be very careful about green space versus hardscape. And and the other thing is, how do you make a community? Community is not just a bunch of developments. Community is people on the street engaging with neighbors. And I think that's what Port Moody has developing, but it is something that you have to struggle with. Anyway, thank you.
I've lived in Port Moody for 60 years. When I first moved here, the fire hall was down beside where the city hall is, the old city hall is. From there, they moved it over across from the elementary school. And from there they moved it to the property we're standing on now, and then they moved it over to where it is now. You know what to do with this land? Leave it alone. You're going to be looking for a site to put in a fire hall.
So if I was planning this, and you're asking my opinion, which you are, I love Port Moody, and I love that it's natural. We have the inlet, we have the ocean, we have that whole natural feeling. So whatever you build and whatever you do, try not to build too much infrastructure, built paths, built play parks, and built things. Allow it to be natural and allow the buildings to be part of the natural landscape instead of overtaking the natural landscape. Thank you very much.
Yes, I think you should look at the concept of performing arts lodges that's in Vancouver by the Bayshore, and just look it up on palvancouver.org. It's a great concept for seniors and a way of leveraging people's ability to pay. Thanks.
Hi, I wish this was a place that we could have a central gathering, warm and comfortable place that is safe for children and safe for all age groups and safe for all abilities. I have this idea that wouldn't it be great to have that public square surrounded by beautiful amenities as well as housing, that we could have a piece of public art that could be interactive. And I mean, like, maybe it could be played on, maybe you could create something, maybe you could be drawn to it. It was symbolic of Port Moody, but that it was interactive and encouraged physical activity and health.
My name is Hilary Letwin, and I've lived in Port Moody for almost 5 years. This fire hall site is a beautiful gateway into our community of Port Moody, and I would love to see it as a new library for our community.
My name is Doug Buchanan, a local resident here in one of the apartment buildings across the street. Very pleased that the city has put the effort together to solicit feedback from local citizens. I think it's super important to do that. I hope that council, amongst the many amenities that they're considering for this site or within the municipality, is going to give serious consideration to the shortage of pool facilities. We need an aquatic facility of some kind in this city. Amongst the various densities, I probably favor either medium or high. Slight preference for high, in that it generates not just the most one-time funding for these ambitions, but also the most continuing funding so that we can continue to improve the city over time. Thanks for a chance to give feedback.